thanks for stopping by my channel to color. Today we are going to be working on some cards using the new My Favorite Things Sweet Holiday Penguin stamp set. Aren't those little penguins just adorable? In the stamp set you get 5 penguins and 5 sentiment stamps and 2 small accessory stamps. Here I just showed you a quick look at the Copics I'm going to be using to color today. I'll also put a pin card at the bottom of the blog post in case you would like to save that for a later date, and the link to that will be down in the description box to the blog post. So I try to keep these pretty simple. I'm going to use the same colors for all the penguins so that we can whip these out in no time. This is a card kit, so I'll put a link to it down in the description box in case you would like to pick it up. There are still a couple left at the time I'm doing this voiceover. The stamp set, or the kit, also comes this time with a coordinating die. So you're not going to have to cut them out. You're going to be able to use the die to cut these little cuties out, and it'll take you exactly no time at all. I loved that there was a die available for these because they're Christmas cards, and you know we're always running behind making Christmas cards. So I just decided this time we would pick up the die so we could color them and cut them out and be done with it. No fussy cutting for us today. Even though the die is a little bit more expensive, it adds a little bit of cost to the kit. I think it's totally worth it for the time and convenience of it all. So on your cards, you can choose any of the penguins you want. 4 of them are the same size, and then there's another one that has a penguin in a little package. He's a little bit smaller, but you could also stamp him and add him to your cards on the front with one of these other 2. That would be, he'd fit on there perfectly. The other penguin that I didn't pick this time has a wreath. He's got a cute little scarf and he's holding a little Christmas wreath. So he's really cute. They're all just adorable. This new Stacy Yoncala stamp set is so cute. I can't wait to see what kind of stamp set she comes up next for My Favorite Things. And then all of the sentiments that are in the stamp set are going to fit onto the tags that are included in your kit, except for the one that says "You're the best gift I've ever received." It's a little bit too long even for the biggest tag that I put in there, so if you want to use that one you're going to have to cut a little bit larger tag to put that on. Or you could also just do a piece of red cardstock and a strip of it and stamp that on there and then do that with that. But I did emboss all of my sentiments that I chose to use with some white detail embossing powder. I thought that made them stand out and they looked pretty cool. So all my little penguins here, I went ahead and I colored with my C9, 7, and 5. A couple of them I decided that I wanted them to be darker because I wasn't as heavy-handed, so I went ahead and added a second coat to those. For me, it sometimes depends on how dark things are, as whether or not I'm going to add a second coat. A lot of times I don't do it, but this time I thought that they needed to be a little bit darker, so I just went over them a second time to darken them up. I tried to keep it pretty simple. For my white areas, I'm going to use C2, C0, and my colorless blender. I'm just doing a quick little swipe around the edges. I'm trying to keep my lines not too thick, so I'm going around them just a little bit, and then I go over the edge of that with my C0, and then I'm just kind of swirling my Copic colorless blender marker around on the white areas so that it kind of blends it all together. I was pretty careful about not touching the black with my colorless blender because I didn't want to push that anywhere else. So try to be careful when you're doing that. Keep your colorless blender into the white spaces. We're also going to use those colors to do the fur on the hats, the little pom-pom and the little collar on the hat too. So I can't remember if I went ahead and did those now while I had them out or if I forgot. So don't forget, you're going to go ahead and do that. Another quick swipe with my colorless blender. Yep, see, I totally forgot to do the other parts. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to do our beaks, and I did not do anything fancy. I'm just using my YR16 to add a little swift striping of my darkest color, and for the noses there, I went ahead and just left a little white dot in the center part. I just kind of went around the whole outside and then left the center, and then I'm just going to swipe over the rest of it with my YR12 to fill it in. Nothing fancy. Remember, we're trying to be quick here. We need a bunch of Christmas cards made up, so we are not messing around. And here I decided, oh, I forgot to do these hats, so I'm now getting my C2 and C0 back out, and I'm just adding a few little dots along where there is some dots already on the stamped image. Then I'm going in and adding my C0, same thing, just a few little swooshes on there, and then going over those carefully with my colorless blender to blend them in. Now we're going to color our packages. I am not doing anything fancy here. We're just going to go over it with our YG03 and color the entire package in. And then I go over it a second time on the bottom half so that it's a little bit darker. Same for this one. We're just going to go ahead and do our Y26 and color in our package, and nothing fancy. I went out of the lines there, so I'm just using my colors blender to color that in. And then I decided I would use R27 and R29 to do all my reds. So I'm doing the R27 first because they're pretty small. We're not going to need to do any blending on this. And then I'm using the 29 to color the bottom and a little bit on my bow to make it darker. Same thing for the hats. We're going to go ahead and just swipe the entire hat with our R27, and then we're going to come in with our 29 and add a little bit of our dark streaks in there. So anyway, if you would like to see me put the card together, if you head over to the real-time video, you can see the making of the card at about 19.5 minutes if you're interested in that. If you have a question, leave me a comment down below and I will make sure to get back to you. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe to my channel if you have not already. Don't forget to hit the little bell next to it so you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. Otherwise, I hope you are having a fabulous day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.